Are you ready?
Agility from the champion. Oh, Jesus! That could be it. Delivered this deep six.
Good evening. This is WWE Money in the Bank weekend. I am joined by Joe Aguila. We got some stuff to talk about tonight. This is the prediction show. We may as well call it the Money in the Bank spoiler show because we do get a lot of things right. Not 100% of the time, but we do get a lot of things right. So you guys are going to want to tune in tonight. We won't be long, but we got some predictions coming at you of what we think is going to happen this weekend between Saturday and maybe even leading up to Raw. But I am joined tonight by Joe Aguila. Joe, how you doing today?
What's going on, Wayne? What's going on, Aftermath Universe? Dude, I was thinking about it. What do we call the Aftermath listeners? Is there a name for it? I have a quick idea. I want to hear what you think about it. What if we start calling our listeners the Aftermathematicians?
The Aftermathematicians.
What's up, mathematicians? Welcome to the Aftermath.
Oh my gosh, this is a dad joke, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I did like Aftermath Universe, so
yeah, absolutely.
I love
Dude,
Aftermath
it's
Universe.
just gonna keep growing and growing. You know what I mean? It's just like that's the direction that everything's headed, right?
We are back. It's getting hotter. Joe, guess what?
What's up, man?
One more month, I'll be in Detroit for WWE SummerSlam.
Oh, heck yeah. That's
Our
right.
first American pay-per-view that we are getting since WrestleMania.
Wow. Isn't that right? Yeah.
Not for nothing. I do like these pay-per-views starting at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Because this way it ends at 6, 7, and then you got the whole evening for yourself.
The whole evening's done. Yeah.
But yes, this is Money in the Bank weekend. Formerly King of the Ring used to be a couple weeks earlier than this, which would usher in the SummerSlam season. But that belongs to Money in the Bank, ushering the SummerSlam season that we're heading into. So I can't wait. This is going to be a very good show. So, Joe, let's have at it. But in the meantime, before we pull up my first match here, how you been?
I've been all right, man. I just started summer vacation not too long ago. I finished year 9 of teaching, and this morning I went ahead and shaved my head.
Oh, it looks good.
Yeah, that's why I'm wearing the Austin shirt. Going bald, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just got swerved right now. You swerved me, Joe. That
There
looks
it is,
good though. Yeah, if I shave my head, I have to keep myself hidden in my apartment for the whole summer or until that grows back, because I know I ain't gonna be able to pull that off just like you are though.
Nah, it's all right, man. I got 10 weeks in a hat. You know what I mean? Like, we're good. I got no plans this summer.
So that's good.
By the time I go back to work, I'm going to need to get a haircut. So it's all good.
Those of you guys that are watching, please give us a thumbs up. This will help us out tremendously. And even more so, subscribe, share this with your friends. We are going to get right into it. Let's talk about the first match that I don't know what the exact match order is going to be, and we can kind of predict that a little later.
Yeah, I have a projected, like, I guess, card, like, according to WWE, but who knows? And then we could always talk about, like, what should, like, start the match. Like, for instance, if I remember correctly, last year they started with, I believe, the men's or the women's. It's one of the Money in the Bank matches, I believe.
You can they have been starting it with Money in the Bank match. A lot of times they do bookend it. But now with the main event, I feel like the tag team match is going to be the score. But we'll get right into that in a moment. So let's just do a basic rundown of the card first, and we'll get into the prediction of what we think is going to the match order is going to be. But the first match I want to talk about is the Intercontinental title match. We got Gunther defending his Intercontinental title against Matt Riddle. Now, he's been the Intercontinental title holder for over a year now. Do we know if he officially broke Honky Tonk Man's record? I feel like he did, and it maybe hasn't been mentioned.
I think it's close. It has to be close.
We got to find that out. I feel like he's very. I feel like he's very close here. Which depending on that, I think is probably going to determine my prediction here because I feel like at some point Gunther is going to be getting into the main event scene, and that really may not be more towards 2024. When I mean main event scene, contending for the world title of whichever brand he's on at that time. So I feel like we're not far off from that.
Yeah, I think it says if Wikipedia is right, Honky Tonk holds the longest reign at 454 days.
454 days.
And I'm not sure what.
Okay. Gunther just hit a year. So I think it's safe to say that Gunther is not losing his title anytime soon.
Right. Yeah. Especially he's the hometown favorite, right? And also, like this is going to be his first main feuds and main title defenses on the Raw brand, right? And so it's going to be one of those things where you're going to want Gunther to show off what he can be, and this is the workhorse title. And I can't think of two better competitors to go at it. I definitely think you're right, though, that it's Gunther's time still. He plans on carrying that all the way to the next WrestleMania. And so I think it would be a really good way to build him as like that next up and comer, right? That next future world champion. Or he could be the guy that ushers in the IC title as a main event type of belt, right? If that's the workhorse title and he's always the workhorse for the next year, he could. But I mean, at the same time, now we got two titles. Now we got there is a little bit more opportunity there to keep building him, keep building Imperium, and go in that direction as well.
Yeah, and I think you're right on that. They are going to continue building Imperium.
I don't know. There you go.
Imperium is definitely going to be future tag team champions for sure. That's happening. I think as soon as Gunther breaks Honky Tonk's record, it's not going to be long after that I think that's when he's finally going to lose his Intercontinental title. I would think maybe by Survivor Series. I can see him breaking Honky Tonk Man's record at this point to build him up, to legitimize him so that he's a believable contender for the world title scene, which I think he's going to be in that title picture come WrestleMania season. Because now you got to think, we don't just have Roman Reigns' title, we also have Seth Rollins' title.
Yep.
So that allows more options. That allows more breathing room to get Gunther into the main event picture, as opposed to it would have been a little bit more difficult to do so, just because you have so many viable options when you have one title holder. But now that you got two champions, it allows more flexibility. So I can see Cody, and I've heard rumors of Gunther as a possible Royal Rumble winner. Maybe like a Gunther Cody Rhodes program could very well happen eventually. But in the meantime, I can see Gunther dropping this title probably around no later than Survivor Series, and then getting him ready for the next level next year, while Imperium also elevates too, because they've been primarily featured very well on Monday Night Raw. I love Kaiser.
Yeah,
I think it's just mannerisms. He's great on the mic. His in-ring work very unique. But anyhow, so
it reminds me of the way that he sells. Reminds me of like a Dolph Ziggler, who can really sell very well and make a lot of people look really, really good. And so like, to have them as like the guys who are going to get the finishers from other people. And that's what helps, you know what I mean? That's what helps build like the other guys who are going to be facing Gunther, just like how that they've been booking Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle's been looking real strong, beating up all of Imperium. And then here comes Gunther. You know what I mean? And so it's just like, it's almost like you're working your way to the boss level. Right. And so to have those guys be that versatile is invaluable. So I hope you're right that Imperium does get a chance to hold the titles. Um, and I think that should coincide with Gunther's success. I am a big fan of factions holding all the belts or multiple titles. It just looks so, and having Imperium with their very unique style, very unique entrance, the ring general, and then to decorate the rest of them with titles, that would be really cool.
And that could very well happen.
Definitely.
That could very well happen. So my pick is Gunther to win. Who do you got Gunther too?
100%. Yeah, definitely. Nothing against Matt Riddle. It's gonna be it should be a banger. You know.
I can see Matt Riddle being the one to beat Gunther, but maybe chasing for a while. Maybe do like a 1 or 2 3-match program, but in between give it a little break, and then maybe at a pay-per-view some point after Gunther breaks Honky Tonk's record, then I can see that happening for sure. But this is gonna be a banger of a match, by the way.
Definitely. And it absolutely needs to be too, right? If we're going to elevate, we can't just give Gunther the win and expect that to be the thing that elevates him. It's got to be the in-ring work, and he needs to have a unique lineup of dance partners to get him there. And who better than Matt Riddle? You know what I mean? He's popular. He's so charismatic. He's got a great move set, and he can also handle a loss if he loses but looks really strong. Or what I think might happen, and if it is true that they're gonna feud for a little bit, then I can imagine Imperium getting involved, having this be like a schnoz finish or like a heel finish, dirty finish, and then that would lead to, oh well, I had you, and then let's try to go for one with a stipulation, and then maybe even go into SummerSlam, and then maybe by then getting close to Honky Tonk's record, Matt Riddle would can then dethrone him afterwards.
Yeah, I could definitely see that for sure. And you know what they say, there's money in the chase. So
yeah, but it's in London. You got
some hometown heroes got to win. I mean, there's a lot of people on this card from London.
Absolutely, definitely.
So, in the UK area in general. So, but I can definitely see that. But moving on, before we get into the money back, we'll talk the singles matches first. We got the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins defending against Finn Balor here. Well, here's the thing. And I just burped live on YouTube. Sorry, guys. Anyway, here's the thing. There's a couple directions this is going to go. And we can probably hit it more when we get into the Money in the Bank winner predictions and stuff. But I can foresee a program with possibly Drew McIntyre coming back as a heel, turning on Seth Rollins, and then starting a program with Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, and basically revolving around the fact that maybe Drew McIntyre should have been on this card. He was left out of the Money in the Bank and an opportunity to get a world championship, and maybe he'll say something, well, I'm going to create my own opportunity. They could go something along that route. I just don't see Seth Rollins losing the belt so soon here. And Triple H, he's not the one for necessarily doing hot potato with his titles, right, as Vince McMahon was in the past. I gotta go with Seth Rollins here. I feel like this is gonna be a good match. The feud's been pretty decent. Finn Balor has been getting the one up on Seth Rollins quite a bit lately, especially from the attacks from behind on Raw, on NXT the next night. So I
That
think
was cool.
I think Seth Rollins is getting his win and his retribution this Saturday in London. What do you think, Joe?
This is his first like pay-per-view title defense, I think, right? He won
Um,
it
that
at
sounds about
Night of
yes,
Vince,
yes, yep.
right?
First pay per view title defense.
Because he's been defending it on TV, as promised, and he's got some really great matches and giving a lot of people who need some, main event rub. He's been giving that to them, which is good, especially taking it to NXT and doing that whole program at NXT that night. It really did make a big difference. And it's not to say I watched it because I still don't really watch NXT too much, but I caught the highlights on Instagram, and it's just like he's been doing a great job with the title. He's been even being the WWE ambassador and showing up to events and interviews with the title. Becky and Seth Rollins were both on TV like this week talking about Money in the Bank, and it's just like it's so good to see that the titles are being featured outside in the mainstream, getting people excited, and I think that introducing another title, not a secondary title, but another world title that could be the face of a company, that could be an ambassador to get people watching. Like, they're doing a great job, and I think that Seth Rollins is doing a great job. Here's the thing, though: if it's going to be another title that's going to be like this person's going to hold it and have a really, really long reign, we're doing that already with Roman Reigns. There is an argument, I think, for having it not to say playing hot potato with the title, but having more frequent title changes. And I am a huge Finn Balor fan. I've always been a huge Finn Balor fan. So there's part of me that's always like, oh man, I really want to see him have a title run, like a title run that he deserves. I don't know if right now is the time. It would be great for Judgment Day for Finn Balor to have the title to complement Rhea Ripley's title, for them both to have those two titles right next to each other. And then even if like Damian Priest for whatever reason wins the Money in the Bank briefcase, then you kind of have that already embedded will he, won't he, with Finn Balor, holding the title. There is a possibility. There's probably an alternate timeline where that happens. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's going to happen, but as you're saying, I can also see Seth Rollins taking it. I mean, it's his first pay-per-view title defense. I think it should be successfully defended. But again, history between Finn Balor and Seth Rollins over the Universal title match, resulting in Finn Balor getting hurt. I predict that they're going to recreate that bump. I predict that it's going to be definitely referenced. I don't think we're going to see Demon. I think it's going to be full on weird mask Finn Balor, but it's definitely going to be one heck of a match, and I can't wait. So wait, my pick, my pick is Seth Rollins, but my heart, there is a part of me that really wants Finn Balor to win. But do I think he's going to win? I don't think so.
I mean, listen, you can kind of do a couple month long on and off program with Finn Balor, with a couple title holders in between, and then maybe have Finn come back as the Demon to beat Seth Rollins, like a heel Demon, like a Judgment Day version of it, and because Seth has never beaten a Demon.
Right, he could steal it. He could do like a low blow roll up. He could do, you know what I mean? Like, it could be any number of things that could happen. And like, who's to say that a title change needs to be this victorious moment, right? It's not WrestleMania. We're not looking for a WrestleMania moment, but like, I can't remember the last time a major title was stolen. I mean, other than Money in the Bank stuff, right? But like, and that's another thing. Like, regardless of who wins this match, if it's going to be after the Money in the Bank, who's to say that Logan Paul's not going to come out and cash it in on Seth Rollins, reigniting their feud for SummerSlam? Could happen, right?
I would say so. I would say that's probably going to happen.
I mean, how cool would that be?
We'll get more on that in a little bit,
Yeah,
but
for
that's
sure.
a huge possibility for sure.
But I mean, like, who's to say that that won't happen? And that's the fun about Money in the Bank and multiple world championships. Now we can get back to, like, when is it going to happen and for what title? And it's like, and also they're advertising it as you can go for any title, just like Theory went for the U.S. championship, but then lost.
I don't like this whole any title thing whatsoever.
I don't either. I
And
think
I'll tell you so much. I'll tell you this much. If this Money in the Bank briefcase is used to cash in on an IC title or US title, I'm gonna flip my lid. We will bring back the burial segment for sure.
Yeah.
That needs to be for world title purposes only.
And especially being unsuccessful and then very shortly thereafter actually winning it. I thought it was a very weird move. And especially with like where I thought Austin Theory is going to be positioned. Now it's just like he's not even on TV that much right now. And so it's just like
you just basically read my mind. I've been wondering where he is, but they can easily just kind of bring him right back on.
Yeah.
Next week after Money in the Bank is over. And Rhea Ripley's not on the show either. She'll be there accompanying Don Dom.
Yeah, of course. She's going to get involved.
I have a feeling, like some people are saying, we have a feeling that she might be lightly hurt right now and just kind of working a little light, and she had quick matches with Natalya, nothing long, but she really hasn't had any long matches. I have a feeling that she might be a little hurt, and that's getting covered up right now.
You got to take care of her.
She's been doing some great work.
She's incredible. Even just her presence on TV, being the mouthpiece for Dom Mysterio, it's just like you got to take care of her if she's really hurt. But you want to use her for. She looks great with a title. She can hold herself. She can hold her own against guys. Let's just take care of her, definitely.
For sure. So, which leads me to, you know what? Let's go right in. Cody Rhodes versus Dominic Mysterio. You got to figure that Dominic Mysterio is going to have Rhea Ripley in his corner against Cody Rhodes. How about Monday Night Raw? Pharaoh showed up.
What's that?
Pharaoh showed up on Raw.
I missed that.
Cody Rhodes' dog.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, adorable. So, I mean, Pharaoh's not going to be in Cody Rhodes' corner.
Right.
But for this one, at least. But so we got Cody versus Dominic. And all right, so I'm going to come right out and say it. No need to waste time. Dominic Mysterio is going to win this Saturday. Dominic Mysterio will beat Cody Rhodes. And it will be because Brock Lesnar interferes, costs Cody the match, setting up a Cody versus Brock Lesnar match at SummerSlam in some kind of gimmick match to kind of close off the Cody Rhodes Brock Lesnar feud. Now, honestly, do I want to see that? No. I was really hoping for Cody versus Roman, but I believe they're saving that for WrestleMania 40. So the whole finish the story. I mean, you're not going to finish a story by winning an IC title or a US title, whatever belts on Raw. You're not going to do that. If you're finishing your stories because you want to be the WWE Championship champion, something that he would be the first in his family to do so. So that's this. They've been hinting at finish the story all this time. So and I'm gonna say it right now. I'm sticking by it until I see some kind of change. My early predictions is Cody win the Rumble and go on to fight Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40. But in the meantime, you gotta keep Cody busy and keep him hot in these during all these feuds. So I have a feeling that hopefully they book all that good in the meantime to keep him hot, which he is. And by the way, I just got my Cody Rhodes action figure today.
Oh yeah,
I ordered it. So when it comes in, I don't know, but it's from Ringside Collectibles. It's the Cody Rhodes version in his American Nightmare pants with the bruise on his chest.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so I am excited for that. And I'm gonna get my Cody Rhodes. I'm gonna get the Cody Rhodes weight belt, the red one.
Nice.
I'm gonna get that too. So I'll have like a little something to add up on the display right behind me, like over here somewhere. So
Cool.
I'm excited for that. So bold prediction: Dominic beats Cody. Brock Lesnar interferes. Costs Cody the match, setting up a match for SummerSlam. What they do with Dominic, I'm not too sure there. If they go that route, maybe they start him with something else. But whatever Dominic gets as a feud next, I'm sure maybe the kind of go back and forth with Cody afterwards. But Cody, I think Dominic gets the win here for sure with the Brock Lesnar interference. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that
Bold
sounds
prediction.
yeah, that sounds absolutely probable in terms of with what to do with Cody like between now and WrestleMania. I have it exactly how you have it. Somehow, some way, we're going to end up with Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, the rematch at WrestleMania 40, Philadelphia. And like you said, finishing the story, we got to write something in between now and then. And also, we also have to have the closure with Brock Lesnar, right? And also with how much, and I wanted to talk to you about this too, with Dominic Mysterio specifically. We know how much heat he has. Right?
Oh, he's got so much heat.
It is so incredible to watch, and I want to watch it live. I want to be there. The reason why is because watching it live, at home, I wonder how much I keep hearing more and more about WWE piping in noise, right?
Yeah.
And piping in crowd noise. I wonder how much noise they're piping in for Dominic Mysterio, if at all. I hope that it's genuine. I hope that it's authentic heat. But like if it is piped in, because sometimes for me it does sound that way. Either which way, I think that's the direction, and I think unfortunately the only direction that we're going to see Dominic head in, having a lot of heat, not being able to talk, needing Rhea Ripley to be the mouthpiece, and she does such a great job for her dom.
Yeah.
I love seeing them on screen. I love hating them. I love it. And so here's what you got to do. And like the way that you're telling me that the match is going to finish helps accomplish this. What you have to do with Dom is take care of him, right? You need to make him look strong. Obviously, you need to have him be a little bit believable. Get a couple of, he's been doing better with getting heel spots and, playing dirty and, working up that angle, also using Rhea Ripley, right? And he's been getting better at it. And I think that Cody Rhodes will be a great person to work with to get to that point where Cody Rhodes, who is so over with the crowd, everyone loves Cody Rhodes' entrance. Everyone looks forward to it. He's a draw. He's Cody Rhodes. Whereas Dominic Mysterio, everyone loves to hate him. It's a perfect matchup, I think. At first, I was like, why pair these guys together? And then you hear the crowd reaction, and I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it. And then it's just like one of those things where I think that the match itself, you're going to see a lot of dirty playing with Dominic's side, on Dominic's side, Ripley getting involved, all of that. And then leading into obviously a one-sided fight between Cody Rhodes and Dominic Mysterio. It's going to look real close. And then, like you're saying, comes Brock Lesnar, reigniting that feud, getting ready for SummerSlam, building towards Detroit. And that's a logical next step for Cody Rhodes too. Whereas Dominic, coming off of a victory over Cody Rhodes, he's going to be talking about that for the next couple of months. And that could be something where he gets into, let's say, another side feud of some sort with whoever. It might not be for a title, but it could be an interesting matchup between like whoever's around. The next former, maybe he beats a former world champion next. Maybe it's Drew McIntyre. Maybe it's whoever.
Speaking of which, Cody, you mentioned something about the crowd reaction. Those are genuine, very genuine crowds.
Yeah.
The crowd reaction and the sound that's coming through my TV matches up. So I haven't. They don't really. They don't pipe in a lot. They don't pipe in a lot of noise doing there. So Dominic is getting nuclear heat right now, and Rhea Ripley was starting to get it the other night too, as well. But you know who's also getting some mega heat? Not to get off topic, but Don Callis on AEW.
Oh yeah, of course.
He's starting to get some mega heat on him, dude. Like, if I have to say, right now, Dominic is getting the best heat right now, and Don Callis is right there, 1B.
Yeah. Absolutely, dude. And I know you're not to get too much off topic. We were talking just before we went live, but I did a recent deep dive of AEW. I've caught up with that. I actually watched Forbidden Door this past weekend. Incredible show, man. And you're talking about Don Callis. He is great, and he's with Takeshita right now. They're doing great. They're also involved with BCC. I love all of that storytelling. It's super multi-layered. Everyone's got their place. They are firing on all cylinders, and I could talk all day about that. And so, but yes, in terms of heat, I'm so glad that you think that it's genuine. I also think that it's genuine, but like I said, you hear some stuff on the internet. More and more people are talking about piping in noise and stuff, and it's just like part of me, I mean, it could just be my
if
TV.
You want to hear legit piped in noise, go watch a Raw from 1995 or a Raw from like the late 93. Talk about piped in. People aren't even moving, and you hear the crowd cheering.
That's crazy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man. And so that heat, that I mean, it make it be there. Like, oh man, to be able to just boo Dominic Mysterio. It's so good to watch, and it's great sports entertainment. It's going to be, I think, in terms of crowd reaction, a very exciting match. In terms of technical wrestling, Cody Rhodes is going to carry a lot of it, and Dominic can carry his own. He still, for me, just doesn't look convincing, but
I think he'll get there. He still looks young for his age, like I do.
True.
He still looks young for his age, but he's grown a lot within the last number of months for sure. Like him being paired up with Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley has done wonders.
Absolutely.
So he's grown a lot. He handles the heat every single week very well. So he's grown a lot. He's going to be a future champ eventually. I just don't know how soon that's going to be. I would say within a couple years.
Nice. Yeah.
But moving on. Actually, Joe, I got to show you something. So I off my display, I kind of pulled this off.
Uh-oh.
I am ready for Money in the Bank.
Dude, one of my favorite pay-per-views.
I'm going to cash in on some random person.
Do it, man.
I don't know what I'll get out of it, but
dude, honestly,
I know a couple of my buddies own some titles. I own the IC title right there. My buddy Joe, he's one of our other co-hosts. He has the world title coming in the mail soon. I think I'm going to use my Money in the Bank briefcase to cash in on one of these guys and earn myself another title. What do you think?
Dude, that's such a good idea. I'm
going to cash in and be a turncoat.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to use this. I got to put this case to use.
Dude, you should just get someone to dress up as a ref, hand in the title, and do a surprise roll-up. You can even do it with at a live event. So many people carry around titles and stuff. That would be funny. Do a surprise roll-up.
That would be funny. But I have a feeling if I do that in real life and I'll get my butt kicked. So we'd have to make sure they get staged.
Nah, you got your jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, no, this is true. This is absolutely true. I haven't practiced.
No, you can hold your own if you needed to. You could.
I could definitely hold my own. Definitely survive at the minimum.
Absolutely, you're gonna get out of there. You'll be all right.
Moving on, let's talk about this. The Bloodline Civil War match. We knew this was coming. what happens after this pay-per-view, I am honestly not too sure. But we got Solo and Roman Reigns against the Usos. The Usos both making the right decision, splitting away from the bloodline based on how they've been treated all these months. And man, this could be a banger. I am not too sure how to predict this one. As far as a winner, I mean, on paper, maybe I got to lean more towards Roman Reigns and Solo. I'm just trying to think of the ramifications of the results of if the Usos win. Will one of them challenge Roman Reigns SummerSlam, which many people say one of the Usos is going to be the guy to beat Roman Reigns and take the title off of him at SummerSlam. Not happening. That is not happening. Will they have that match? I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it, but that is not happening. One of the Usos. No, I just don't see it. I don't see it. Like, you cannot have any other person beat Roman Reigns, in my opinion, right now than Cody Rhodes. So I don't think the Usos, one of the Usos, is going to be the guy to beat. Now, maybe they do have a long-term plan for Solo to be the guy to beat Roman Reigns. But that's neither here or there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's neither here or there. I can see, again, my long-term booking, and for now, until I see it changing otherwise, I said I got Cody. I just don't know what's going to be next after this match. Like, where they're going to go next. Will Solo have an argument or disagreement with Roman during this tag match at Money in the Bank? Will something start there to maybe lead towards SummerSlam? So this is a tough one to call. I feel like this is a tough one to call. On paper, I would say Roman Reigns versus Solo.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Roman Reigns and Solo winning. But the Usos could come out with a W here too.
Yeah. Here's what I think.
Gun to my head, I'm gonna have to say Roman and Solo win.
Yeah. But
what do you got, Joe?
So you got to look at it this. If you take a step back, you got to look at it like an entire story or an entire saga of the bloodline, stretching all the way from Roman Reigns' return, right? Recruiting main event Jey Uso, right? Bringing Jimmy back, getting the tag titles, getting all the titles, bringing in Solo, Sami Zayn, the whole thing up until now. This is kind of like the end, like Avengers Endgame for the bloodline in many ways, right? And so just like, where do we go from here? Because just like the MCU, the story's still going. It might not be the big main event picture like it's been the last couple of years, but it's still going to keep going. Everyone's going to find their place, right? But this is going to be, I think, their swan song, where the focus will just be, we'll still have that tribal chief gimmick. We'll still have all of that island of relevancy. All of that, I think, will still continue for Roman Reigns and Roman Reigns alone. Or obviously with Solo, as long as Solo is going to be attached to Roman Reigns. Here's what I think, though, for this coming weekend. I don't see how Roman Reigns can get 2 losses back-to-back pay-per-views, right? I just don't see it. I think it's got to be Roman and Solo. I absolutely think it has to be Roman and Solo, that they're going to go over in this match. And it could be in a way where maybe, like you're saying, there's some disagreement between Solo and Roman. And then maybe it's going to be that Solo is going to be the guy that's going to look super, super strong. Not to mention also, real quick, we were talking a little bit before we went live, and I think this is going to close out the show, don't you think? Right. I think that this is going to be it's like
It's got the potential.
Yeah, it's like it's got the poster, it's got all of the hype, and it's also Roman Reigns. And here's what I also appreciate with what they're doing with this pay-per-view. Roman Reigns is going to be, and it makes sense that Roman Reigns would be the main event, the last match. He's going to be featured, and if he goes over, he's going to look real good. He's going to look real strong. Keep it a tag match. Keep it, he's involved in a non-title match for his title, but he's still going to be featured. Whereas the big main event title, contest is going to be between Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. Like, in terms of title matches, that's the title match for this one for the men, right? And so I don't even think there's a women's title match in this one, right? It's just the Money in the Bank. Right? Okay, so in any case, Roman Reigns, I think he's going to be all alone, is what I think. Eventually, it'll just be him and his title. He's going to be on a lonely island, right? He's going to be an island all to himself. He's going to be a tribe of one, right? And he's the tribal chief. Sure, you call him the tribal chief, island of relevancy, all of that. Here's what I think should happen, though. Solo should kind of go apart from Roman Reigns. Maybe that's what goes into SummerSlam. But I think Paul Heyman should stick with Solo, and then Roman Reigns could maybe Paul Heyman turns on Roman. I don't think that Solo might. I don't know if Solo's gonna dethrone Roman, but I do see Paul Heyman being attached to Solo, benefiting him more than Paul Heyman staying with Roman Reigns.
Do you think it's a possibility that Roman Reigns goes on his own for a little while, and then eventually somehow they set it up where Roman Reigns turns into a face and the bloodline reunites as all babyface faction?
I think that's a great...
Because that would be the only way you could add legs to this.
I think that's a great idea for WrestleMania 40 after he's dethroned. Maybe he takes some time off. Maybe he takes time off up until SummerSlam and helps out main event Usos or main event Solo Sikoa, and then have there be some type of reunion at some point. Like, crowds will go crazy for that. And I think, like you're saying, that's the way to save and salvage the possibility of some type of bloodline reunion in the future. Definitely. And also, you got to really think way in the future. This has Hall of Fame, like bloodline going in, a Hall of Fame contention. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. For sure. That can definitely happen. So yeah, I got Roman and Solo winning, and I think this is gonna be a great match. Like, this whole card stacked.
Definitely.
The Money in the Bank matches are a little somewhat light on star power, but that's okay. I mean, that's okay. I'm okay with that, and we're gonna get to that right now. Let's start with the women's Money in the Bank. So, as shown on the screen, we got Io Shirai, Trish Stratus, Zoe Stark. She's been doing some good work. She kind of comes off as a little green sometimes when she comes out.
Yeah, she's still getting her footing, I think, with the crowd.
Yes. Bayley, Becky Lynch, and Zelina Vega. And I'm gonna cut right to the chase. There's a lot going on here. One, you got Zoe Stark, who's been flanking Trish Stratus to the ring every single week, kind of like being the protege. So now they're opponents in this Money in the Bank match. Bayley and Io Shirai, both part of Damage Control, which I believe Damage Control is probably going to head towards a split. Both part of the same faction, but now opponents. So I have a feeling like we're going to see some friction amongst allies here. There's a couple things going on here, a couple storylines. We got Becky Lynch, saying for weeks, and WWE's made it clear that Becky Lynch has never won a Money in the Bank match, which with her being this match, kind of sort of makes her a favorite here. But also, I mean, I can see WWE pulling the trigger on Io Shirai being a Money in the Bank winner here. So Joe, what do you think? Before I give my final prediction, I got to hear what you have to say.
Yeah. It's an interesting matchup. Especially with Damage Control being both of them being a part of it. You also have the combination of Trish Stratus and, like you said, her protege Zoe Starks. They were recently both doing interviews with like different podcasts and stuff, and I love how Zoe Starks is really taking that gimmick of "Thank you, Trish" everywhere she goes, and it's like it's something where it's good to see like a professional wrestler doing that and like being like, oh yeah, no, like this is legit. Like I look up to Trish Stratus. She's a hero of mine. We should be thanking her. And she's a legend who's continuing to do really, really well. And of course, you have this heel Trish Stratus who is only in this match by a disqualification, right? So like she didn't really earn her way in. Although the match between her and Raquel was very, very good. I think that I was surprised that was be a Raw matchup. I thought it had a pay-per-view potential, but then the way that it ended with the disqualification, I think that was a great way to get Trish Stratus into Money in the Bank, where Raquel looks super strong, but she's not part of this match, right? Whereas Trish Stratus needed a way to get into the match, and she's gonna, I think, do well. I don't think that she's gonna win. It would be great if she won, but I don't think she's going to. Based on what we see here, Bayley's the only former Miss Money in the Bank, and both Io Shirai and Zelina Vega had great title matches at Night of Champions, or not Night of Champions, Backlash. I'm sorry, right, in Puerto Rico, and both, especially I think Io even opened up that show, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and stole the crowd, right, and that was great to see. I think she's going to do the same thing this weekend. She's gonna do great, huge ladder spots. Please pray for their safety. Oh my gosh. But Becky Lynch is favorited to win. I think that based on where we're seeing it, I think that she's probably going to win. If they're listening to the crowd, my pick is going to be either Io Sky or Zelina Vega. If they are going to just go with who's hot right now or who deserves it, the favorite is going to be Becky Lynch. So that's what I got.
So we also have to keep in mind who our women's champion is right now, and that's Rhea Ripley. So if they're using the briefcase of the women's match to set up a SummerSlam match, I mean, you're probably going to have Becky Lynch win and set that up as a big SummerSlam main event where Becky will announce that she's going to cash in on Rhea at SummerSlam. That could happen. But at the same time, Becky Lynch could just be carrying around the briefcase all summer long.
Dude,
Trish Stratus and Zoe Stark versus Becky Lynch and maybe a returning Mickie James.
Oh, I would love that. That would be cool.
Trish Stratus with current protege versus a former protege and Becky Lynch.
Love that.
So that could happen.
A women's trios match. That would be great.
No, just a straight up tag title match. Not tag title match, tag team match.
Tag team.
Yeah.
I was thinking complete Damage Control. And then Zoe Starks, Mickie James, Trish Stratus. Yeah. But that's cool. Yeah.
So that could very well happen too. I really want to see Io get the win here. I feel like at some point during this build to Money in the Bank, she had some steam behind her for sure. I mean, another idea is you could have Zoe Stark win this Money in the Bank and
You just give it to Trish.
check this out. Thank Trish Stratus on Raw by slamming her with the briefcase and saying thank you, Trish. And then Trish goes off, and then maybe they do a Trish versus Zoe Stark match at some point. Maybe that's just kind of like, okay, what else could they do besides like some obvious stuff? I'm looking at this match. I'm trying to think myself. Okay, we have these 6 women, but what can they do with these women as a future feud?
Right.
They could very well do Bayley versus Io. I can very well see that as well. I could definitely see the dissension between them two. I could definitely see that happening. So I would probably say the more likely to come out of this would be a Bayley versus Io dissension, and a feud, break up Damage Control, and they'll just keep Trish and Zoe Stark together for a while. Because if they, that would be overbooking. That would be overbooking at this point if they, split up Zoe and Trish and then split up Bayley and Io. It would be overbooking. So I would say Bayley and Io is more than likely going to be feuding, maybe into SummerSlam. And then, you can do that Becky idea with Mickie James against Zoe and Trish, unless they have a plan with and they can do that and then have Becky cash in at SummerSlam on Rhea Ripley, unannounced. So there's some stuff there. But so who do you got winning this thing? I feel like as I'm thinking about it and as I'm processing this whole thing, I think I got Becky winning with Io being a very strong dark horse.
Yeah, I think that's probable, right? I think that's probably where I'm at too. With, like I said, Io Shirai plus ladders, it's gonna be great, But I think at the end of the day, I think you're right. I think it's Becky's time. It's the one thing that she hasn't had, right? And so it's like they're probably gonna give it to her. But here's the thing too. I think it would be really cool to kind of give it a tribute to what happened. What was that in 2020 when Becky Lynch was pregnant, and then Asuka, who won the briefcase, they just traded. They were like, "Hey, I'm pregnant. I can't defend this. You're gonna give it to me." Now, fast forward, if Becky has the briefcase and Asuka still has the WWE Women's Championship, she could be like, "Hey, let's do the, I'm here to cash it in now. We should just do an even trade." And maybe she can even be like a heel turn Becky Lynch, going for what she thinks is rightfully hers. Hey, you're supposed to, like what I did for you. Let's go. And maybe that could lead to a cash in on Asuka and have that be a feud.
That's possible. That seems a little bit more of a long shot.
I don't think that they would split up. Yeah, and I don't think they would split up Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch if they're on the same schedule. Yeah. Plus, how cool would it be if they both held the same title? Just hers is white leather, his is black leather, like his and hers titles. That'd be kind of cute.
For sure. It really, honestly though, it didn't really do much for Trish Stratus to have Becky and Seth together like that. So I wouldn't do a program with them together like they did, because it did Seth no favors. But to have like Seth and Becky kind of pass in the lobby with the same belt, shown like backstage, shown on TV, that'd be kind of cool.
I'm saying like just like they did just this past week on I forget what news channel or whatever. They were on the news.
Yes, so that was on Stephen A. Smith's First Take on ESPN.
Oh, okay, yeah. And so how cool would it be if they could be WWE ambassadors on mainstream media, on Jimmy Fallon, and they both have matching titles, I think they could pair up. I don't think they would do a program for sports entertainment television. Yeah. I think that they would just be used as ambassadors, that they could just, do the same interviews and stuff. And honestly, logistically, it would be really fun for a husband and wife to be able to do that.
For sure.
They have the same schedule.
Yeah. It's very, very possible there. Now we're going to talk about our main event of predictions, the men's Money in the Bank. But for those of you guys that are watching, please do not forget to give us a thumbs up on the video. Give us a like. That will help us out on our YouTube channel. Feel free to share this with your friends. And just know that we are available on Spotify. We have been having a little problems uploading to Spotify lately, but definitely on iTunes, you'll see us. We're on YouTube, of course, obviously, because you're watching us through YouTube right now. iHeartRadio and more. So be sure to check that out. And just remember, we are available also. Make sure to check out our website right below, right there, www.prowrestlingtees.com. Search for the Aftermath Pro Wrestling Podcast and get our t-shirt. Yes, get a t-shirt. This helps out our podcast. Money doesn't go in our pocket. The money goes right towards the podcast to help keep us going. Buy our t-shirt. Check it out. Do the search, Aftermath Pro Wrestling Podcast. And yeah, we have a pretty cool shirt available in blue, navy blue, that is, gold and black. Now to talk about the last match of and then we'll get to a prediction of the match order really quick. We got the men's Money in the Bank match. Let's run down the participants, why don't we? Here we go. We have LA Knight, yeah. And we got Santos Escobar, Ricochet, Logan Paul, Damian Priest, Pete Dunne, a.k.a. Butch, and Shinsuke Nakamura. All in the ladder match this Saturday afternoon. Live from London O2 Arena. So let's cut to it. There's a couple things going on here. As you can see, Logan Paul was inserted into this match last Monday when he announced that he was going to be in. I am not too thrilled about this. Joe, I'm done. I'm done with part-timers getting more shine than wrestlers that have been there full time.
Oh man, it's a business.
It is, and I get it. So
dude has a huge platform, man. It's gonna be one of those things. Like, and it's something.
This guy is probably gonna win for marketing purposes to run around on social media with the briefcase.
Look how great it looks on a podcast screen, right?
Yeah.
Aftermath Universe, my mathematicians here, right? Doesn't that look so good?
Mathematicians.
That's what I'm saying. It looks great. And so, like, why not use Logan Paul's platform? And, like, yeah, if you give him a briefcase or a title, it's going to be on every episode of Impulsive. It's going to be on every interview, every viral video, every TikTok. It's going to be everywhere. And so, like, I could see them putting something on him. If it's this briefcase, it's this briefcase. And he will get so much heat if he wins.
Oh, he's gonna get nuclear heat because you know what? He's gonna get heat from me. I guarantee you, I am going to blow my lid on the next podcast if Logan Paul wins this.
So here's the thing. Here's what let me talk to you. Yeah. And so
nah.
Everyone knows who's the favorite here. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's going to be completely clear who's running this company, who's running this program, depending on who wins. If it's a business and they really just care about exposure, growing the brand, all of that stuff, brand ambassador BS, Logan Paul's going to win. If they're listening to the crowd, if they're kind of having their finger close to a pulse, LA Knight's going to take this. It's his time. You know, it's just like, he's white hot, and he's done this in such a short amount of time. He's got everything going for him to hold this briefcase and continue his build. He doesn't need to cash it in right away. He's got a year. I love that clip of Brock Lesnar learning live on television that the briefcase is for a year, and then he hits Paul Heyman with the contract and whatnot. That gets me all the time. I pop so much for that. But he's got a year, right? Yeah. And so, like, whoever gets it, whether it be LA Knight or Logan Paul, those are my two picks. LA Knight or Logan Paul. And it's, again, what's going to decide it is whoever's really going to be in control. If it's going to be the business end of sports entertainment, Logan Paul has a really good shot because he's got a really great opportunity to continue to help this brand. And that's what they're paying this guy for. You know, I hate to say it like that, for a lack of the better word, like this YouTuber is kind of just like a little bit of a whore. You know what I mean? Just like signing this multi-million-dollar deal. Why? Because he's popular, he's viral, and he's also really talented. Gotta give him some credit. He knows his character. He knows people hate him, and he leans into it, you know? And so, like, no matter how much we hate to see him, that's what he's trying to do, right? Getting fans really to react to his presence.
There's a problem, though. Like, he's not getting... he's getting some crowd reaction, but he's not getting that crowd reaction like LA Knight is.
Yeah.
And with me, Logan Paul I'm not really connecting with him. Like, he's a great athlete. He's had some bangers, but I'm not really connecting with him like I'm connecting with LA Knight. I gotta be honest with you, man. WWE fans, we cheer for the stupidest things, and it's the stupidest things that get over. Like, so the LA Knight is perfect for that. His whole thing is so ridiculously stupid, but it's funny, and just his mannerisms and stuff like that. I connect more with LA Knight, believe it or not, more than I did months ago. A heck of a lot more than I connect with Logan Paul. Just knowing that I don't like Logan Paul. He's a part-timer, so he's not even there half the time. It just, I get that. I understand the business aspect of it, and that is a very, very legitimate argument. Very, very, and it solidifies even more what the reason that Logan Paul could very well come out of this.
He didn't even qualify. He was just like, "Hey guys, by the way, I'm gonna be in the match.
I'm here. I'm joining." But LA Knight is the most over superstar right now. Yeah, man, the WWE universe is LA Knight is gonna be super over. You can tell Vince McMahon's been changing stuff here and there, not as much as he used to, but he's still making changes backstage. And like, the fans want to make him a mega star. They want to make him face, but they're still trying to book him as a heel. And that just tells me that Vince McMahon is kind of has his fingerprints here and there sprinkled throughout.
Dude, it doesn't even matter. He's got that, like you said, he's got that LA Knight's got that connection to the crowd, that whatever program that they're gonna give this guy, I have all the confidence in the world that he's gonna just take it. And even if he's in the heel position, but he goes out there and the crowd loves him, he's gonna run with it. Let
me tell you something. LA Knight is gonna be fun to watch when if he wins this and is on TV with this every week. It's gonna be fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have a blast. If Logan Paul wins it, you gotta believe he's probably gonna try to cash it in on Seth. It's gonna be unsuccessful because they're not gonna have a part-time champion for Raw and a part-time champion for SmackDown.
Yeah.
Like, that would just be ridiculous now.
Yeah, I think
it would be a waste of a Money in the Bank briefcase if Logan Paul does win this. In the manner of booking, like you said, business wise, I totally get that. I get that part, and that's a legit argument. But as far as booking and storylines, it would be a waste of a briefcase.
Yeah, definitely.
And to the fans too as well. I can see LA Knight cashing in on Seth at WrestleMania. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I
can see. I don't
know. We talked about it earlier.
I
I have some loose-ended plans for Seth. Gunther could be a possibility as a future contender. They could continue this Finn Balor, Seth Rollins thing.
Yeah.
I don't see Cody winning this one. I see Cody leaning more towards Roman because that would be the way to finish the story, not Cody beating
Nah,
Seth.
yeah.
So
That story's been told, you know.
it's possible. It's possible. I really don't know. It's kind of a little early to really predict Seth Rollins right now.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit easier for me to predict the whole Roman Reigns thing. I see Roman Reigns dropping a Cody at 40, you know, just for that big WrestleMania moment, you know, to kick off another 10 years. I don't know if you guys that are watching, you had WrestleMania 1 and then a high note, the main event, WrestleMania 10, Bret Hart defeated Yokozuna in an improbable win. The odds were stacked against Bret Hart, and he won with the roll-up when Yokozuna fell. And Bret got that win. It was a massive celebration.
Mm-hmm.
How about WrestleMania 20 when Chris Benoit won and defeated Triple H and Shawn Michaels?
Dude,
big, unforgettable celebration in the ring with him and Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, confetti. That's how it went off of the air. That's an image that's etched in my mind, man.
WrestleMania, I was there. And WrestleMania 30, I was there too for WrestleMania 30.
Daniel Bryan
with the big win and the confetti coming down, and you know, so WrestleMania 40, I think it's going to be both like
30,
that.
WrestleMania 30 was the first WWE Network pay-per-view.
Yes.
So
that was that was a big. We'll talk about that another time, but that was a big make or break for WWE. If that did not go successful that night, WWE would have been in big trouble. Exactly, like I'm talking out of business trouble.
Yeah, man. We would not be here talking about what we're talking about right now. You know what I mean?
If that network did not succeed.
Yeah.
No way.
But
they should have never changed it.
And honestly, honestly, they're making all this money. Why not do it, right? It's so much easier. And by the way, for me, it's just like I'm not spending any less than what I was spending on WWE Network. This is not a plug for Peacock, but it just so happens like, okay, cool. It comes with Peacock. Cool. You know what I mean? For me as a WWE fan, that's like, oh, it comes with Peacock. Cool. For everyone else, I kind of say like, oh, if you have Peacock, you may as well turn on Money in the Bank. If you have Peacock, you may as well turn on WrestleMania come WrestleMania season. Plus, you have the entire library. Like, they're business savvy for a reason, right? And so, like we're saying with all of this, with Logan Paul, at the end of the day, it's a business. They have to tell this long story. What I think with LA Knight and Seth Rollins, that's a dream match. I mean, not to say dream match, but I say that's a cool matchup to fantasy book and to think, is that WrestleMania worthy? I think so. I think that could LA Knight and Seth Rollins main event a WrestleMania, having the world title? I mean, it's Roman Reigns' time, right? But as like they're gonna have
it wouldn't be a last match, no way.
Event, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it would be like maybe like a night one kind of event,
right? Night one main event or some kind.
Roman Reigns would get night two,
right? And so I see LA Knight being that big of a megastar by WrestleMania 40 and close out one of the WrestleManias? Maybe
it's possible.
Yeah. I mean, look how short of a time it was between Max Dupree and this LA Knight that we're seeing this weekend, you know?
Yeah. Because if you have Logan Paul win this match, or anybody else for that matter, you are pulling the legs out from underneath LA Knight's momentum.
Yeah. And it's his momentum. Right? It's not like, sure, they're giving him a push, but like he's the one who clearly took it, you know? And it's something that like you mentioned Daniel Bryan. It reminds me of Daniel Bryan's like, hello, if you're not listening to the crowd, what the heck are you doing? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So
now one more thing. Let's look at this really quick here. All right. So let's humor ourselves for a second. It's seemingly apparent that Ricochet and Nakamura, they're probably going to have a triple threat match with Bronson Reed at SummerSlam. So you heard it here first on the Aftermath podcast. Nobody's talked about that, but you've heard it here first. Let's just say that. That's probably happening. Okay? So let's keep that in the back of our mind. So that takes out Nakamura and Ricochet. Done. Santos Escobar Also, Ricochet, Nakamura, they're there for the high flying, the high spots. Um, Pete Dunne, he's kind of like, you don't really. They could easily just pull the trigger on the hometown boy and have Pete Dunne win, and
That would be
just
so cool.
start totally fresh. Just start a fresh feud.
Dude, that's how you make a guy right there.
They could do that because the briefcase can help, elevate and push somebody in.
It could help remind everybody who the heck Pete Dunne is.
A Pete Dunne match versus Seth Rollins would be epic.
Oh, man, that would be so cool.
So epic.
See, wrestling fans, that's a wrestling fans match, right? That's what we want. That's what they should be doing with this title.
Yeah. Damian Priest. How about Damian Priest here? We got Damian Priest. We haven't really talked much about him.
Dude, he's been looking strong.
He's another one that's had momentum.
Yeah.
So what if Logan Paul is put into this match as a decoy? Because out of the first six that were announced originally, was looking too obvious.
Yeah.
For LA Knight and maybe Damian Priest, that they had put in Logan Paul as like a decoy to kind of have, maybe to troll the wrestling fans a bit, but to kind of have us guessing and thinking more. But what if Logan Paul is just put in there as a decoy?
Could. I mean, he was put in the Royal Rumble, right? You know what I mean? And you know what? I think they're going to definitely recreate or do some type of crazy spot between Ricochet, Logan Paul.
Yeah.
They're definitely going to do something stupid, something crazy. It's going to be great.
That's going to happen. So
Damian Priest. Santos Escobar, too. That would be cool.
Damian Priest has had some momentum, so we can't forget about him. He's had some momentum. He's had some good matches, too.
Yeah, I think a Santos Escobar, Damian Priest feud, I think that would be really cool. And that could be, something that spins off of this matchup. Pete Dunne, I think he's there really just for that hometown pop, just to make sure that the crowd gets excited for this match. They're probably going to be exhausted by the time these guys go on, unless they open. They could open, but, it's going to be, I think, a good reminder of who Pete Dunne is, who the Bruiserweight is, and it could be a way for him to kind of step away from Brawling Brutes and go back to Bruiserweight Pete Dunne.
Yeah, and that's very possible. And getting back to Priest really quick, he's had we definitely can't ignore the fact that he's had some momentum here, a very close second to LA Knight. So we cannot. Yeah. I mean, if I have to pick my top three in this match, it will go on Logan Paul, Damian Priest, or LA Knight. But
in that order,
not that order, just top three. If it's WWE's style of booking and it's the F the Fans night, then we're looking at Logan Paul probably winning here. But I really, really think that this is LA Knight's match. So I'm cautiously optimistic that LA Knight's going to win. Yeah.
And it'll also be telling based on where this lands on the show. But if this closes out the show, which maybe it could, who knows?
So let me ask you this in closing. What's your match order for Money in the Bank this Saturday? What do you think is going to be the order?
I think women's match is going to open, followed by Intercontinental title match. Then I think they should do. Hold on, I have it here. I think they should do then maybe Cody and Dominic, because it's going to be a really big heater, and then that'll be before men's, and then Civil War. I think that's how I would book it, maybe, because I think they're going to be super exhausted after Cody Rhodes and Dominic, because it's going to be such genuine heat, right? Genuine heat from Dominic, and they're going to be super over. And then maybe with the Brock Lesnar thing, right? They're going to be super exhausted. And so after that, I think they're going to need something like the heavyweight championship match. I don't know. I'm not a good booker, bro.
I got the heavyweight championship match being somewhere in the middle.
Middle.
Not
Okay.
opening. I got the women in the women's Money in the Bank going first, opening the show. Start out hot. And then after that, I think we go Cody and Dominic as a little bit of a kind of like a breather. I don't
Yeah.
think any match is
Actually
going to
gonna
be a
breathe.
breather, to be honest with you.
No, it's gonna be exciting.
But I think you go Cody Dominic second.
Yeah.
And then we go Seth Rollins and no. We'll go IC title.
You
We'll
see.
go Gunther and Matt Riddle's our third match. So that is women's ladder match, Cody and
Oh,
and
you
then the
you
IC
forgot
title
about
match.
the women's tag team.
That's Friday night.
Oh, is it Friday night? Oh, okay.
I think that's Friday night.
Oh, okay.
I have to confirm. I think that's Friday night. I'm pretty sure that's Friday night.
Okay.
So
cool.
yeah, so that's women's first. Cody and Dominic second. IC title third. Then we go Seth Rollins and Finn Balor fourth. And then the men's Money in the Bank. And to close out the show, the Civil War.
Mm-hmm. According to, I just Googled it. I think
That's my guess.
Yeah, according to CBS Sports, 8 hours ago, the women's tag team is on the card.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing.
What's the match on that again?
It's returning Liv Morgan.
Really? They threw that
Liv
in there?
Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, by the way, are dual tag team championships. Do you know? Like, we're not even talking about it right now, but they have the women's and the NXT women's.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But I think that's a good thing to do for the women's tag team division. I think, and it also connects all women's tag team across.
Yeah, they have to do that because the NXT women, the NXT only has like one, maybe two tag teams down there.
Yeah,
there's only 2 or 3 on Raw, so they got to do that. You can't have a women's tag title on every single show.
And it's a good way to stretch out the female talent. You know what I mean? Like, okay, now we can spread them across all TV all week because it's live TV all week. You know, it's just like, okay, you're on the Tuesday show, you're on the Friday show, tag team tournament. Like, we have enough women, I think, to be able to fill up a pretty decent sized tag team division and have it be tiered where, like, okay, we have over tag teams who are going to be doing good storytelling, going after the main titles. And I don't know if Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler are the ones to continue to carry it because, like, look, like we're an hour and 18 minutes into, and we are not only now kind of, oh yeah, by the way. And so it's been an afterthought for a lot, but it's also, Liv Morgan got injured and now returned, and no one's really talking about it, or at least we're not really bringing it up yet. But in any case, you know, it's going to be, I think that's going to be like your popcorn match. You know what I mean? Where after Cody and Dom, maybe you throw in.
Yeah, that would definitely be in the middle.
Throw in the tag team before everything heats up with maybe the Seth and Finn Balor, then men's Money in the Bank, then Usos and Bloodline.
Okay. We got to bring this in for landing very shortly. I got to be in bed. I gotta be up by 6:30 in the morning. Get the car inspected, and go to work for 6 hours. So it's gonna be a day. Then I got to get my hair cut tomorrow. Then I go out to dinner. Maybe catch a little SmackDown late. But one little thing let's touch on really quick. It's part of London's Money in the Bank weekend. But we have Charlotte getting her title shot against Asuka tomorrow night on SmackDown with Belair sitting ringside. So you know Belair is gonna interfere probably, cost Charlotte the match. Asuka comes out the winner tomorrow night, and then you're gonna have probably setting up Belair versus Charlotte, I would think, at SummerSlam, or
like a non-title wrestling.
Yes, or Belair gets her title shot, but in triple threat
triple
match
threat.
with Charlotte and Asuka and
I see that
Belair.
happening.
I can
Yeah,
absolutely see that happening at SummerSlam in Detroit. So let's keep our
and it'll be
eyes out on that.
yeah. I think here's what I want to ask you about, like the original women's revolution pioneers, like Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Bailey. Do you think any of them? Do you think they still need title runs at this point? Maybe Bailey. I don't know, but
No,
Charlotte. I think Charlotte's going to probably try to chase 16 titles, but other than that, like, do they need it? Can other women use it? Like Asuka could use a decent title run.
yeah, I think Asuka right now it's Asuka's time. Belair, Rhea Ripley, Io, and those women that are coming up from NXT. I think it's their time now. I mean, if you want to keep the product fresh, that's what you got to do. And I would use those veterans to kind of help elevate the new talent. That's
They're at that point, right?
They're at that point. I mean, I just don't need to see Charlotte. It's not. If she wins 16 titles and beats her dad's record to get 17, I mean, let's just think about it for a second, and we'll close with this. And we have a comment to address really quick. Charlotte at one point was playing hot potato every single week with Sasha Banks.
Yeah, that's true.
And that gave her like 3 title reigns right there, and then her counting the NXT title reign. So it's just like,
and I'm pretty sure because of that, Sasha Banks doesn't have any pay-per-view.
Charlotte didn't have any long reigns at all.
Yeah, and Charlotte too. Yeah, the reason why we're almost close to this
17 times, almost pushing 16, 17 times. A title holder in 8 years. Come on. It's just not believable. Right. I could see, more believable Ric Flair being in the business for 30 years. Okay, cool.
We're valuing the number and the result as opposed to the journey. Like,
but Charlotte one of those houses hot potato.
Absolutely. Like, you got to think Ric Flair's journey to get 16 titles is a lot different than Charlotte's 8 years in WWE.
Yeah.
Being given a lot of them, And I mean, she did it. She did well with her career, not to take anything away from any of them. My point is it their time still? I mean, this is how many times we see a new champion and then all of a sudden Charlotte's back, Charlotte's returning, and her only focus is this belt, and it's just like, we get it,
Yeah.
So I agree. Asuka's time. I think she's gonna continue to take it, and I love the idea of a Belair interference going into SummerSlam triple threat. It's gonna that would be a really cool SummerSlam great match for that.
Yeah, I can see that happening. One more month, I'll be there in Detroit.
That's great.
I cannot wait. We have one comment to address really quick. Alyssa, thank you so much for watching. So let's see. Cody Rhodes maybe losing momentum. These feuds between Brock Lesnar is going boring. What we're doing with him after WrestleMania, Phil. Okay, so here's the thing. Cody Rhodes is still pretty hot. Hasn't lost a whole lot of momentum. The problem with this storyline with Cody and Brock, if they revisit it, which we think they are for SummerSlam to close it out, I still don't know why Brock Lesnar picked a fight with Cody. WWE has failed to tell us that story. So that's a big problem that I have with this. So I'm not really
connecting. Look at the face. Fight me.
Although Cody's hot right now, I'm really not connecting too well to this feud because I don't know why Brock Lesnar is even challenging Cody. Like, what was the whole point of that attack? We never found out why. I think the announcer would be like, one of the announcers said, I think Brock Lesnar's mad that Cody took his spot at WrestleMania, but that's the closest thing that we've heard to a reason why. We've never heard it out of Brock Lesnar's mouth as to why he attacked Cody. So if we got that why, then I could be like, oh, okay, maybe I'd feel more connected to this feud. But that's the problem with this. Cody does not really lost any momentum. His sales are going up. In fact, we just talked about it earlier, that action figure with the bull rope, with the American Roads WWE version, his first action figure with the pants, the bruise on his big bruise on his chest. They made that part of the action figure. So I got that action figure. It's coming to me. I'm excited. I can't wait. So he's putting out really good merchandise. His sales are doing good. He's marketable. So I don't think Cody's really losing a whole lot of momentum here.
Dude, really quick, don't you AEW Fight Forever, the video game is out. Cody Rhodes is in it. And so right now Cody Rhodes is in both WWE 2K23 and AEW Fight Forever. And it's just like Cody Rhodes is the face of professional wrestling right now. He's not going anywhere. He's doing great.
He is the main baby face right now. He won't get his title, and that's happened in WrestleMania 40. We're telling you that right now. That's happening.
Yeah, I mean, and we have to do something with him between now and then. And the big wrestling, like the big pay-per-views, he needs big time opponents. What bigger than Brock Lesnar?
For sure. But the problem is we don't know the why. So that's the problem I have with this feud. They just kind of threw this
He just
together.
said, look at his face, let's fight. That was good.
No, Cody's definitely not getting buried. Cody will defeat Brock Lesnar if it happens again, which we think it will. Cody will win at SummerSlam. Brock Lesnar is not winning 2 out of 3. It'll be Cody winning 2 out of 3. Brock Lesnar will go away for the fall for a little while, and Cody Rhodes will go from there with the feather in his cap.
Is that Cody Rhodes is still wearing the arm brace throughout all of it.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And it's a visual reminder of like, hey, this story is still fresh. Like, this is what I'm doing. And it's going to be hopefully a more laid back match for Cody. So he can preserve himself and heal in time for SummerSlam to redo it again with Brock Lesnar. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so like, it all just makes sense. And there are people who are going to complain, oh, why are we seeing Brock Lesnar and Cody again? But it's like, well, it's because they need the rubber match. You know, they need, Cody Brock number 3, the trilogy, right? On their way to tell this huge Cody Rhodes story that's going to take up 3 WrestleManias. This is how they're going to end it. And like I said, I keep going back to the Rocky parallel, but ending in Philadelphia, WrestleMania 40, just like we were talking about the last however many WrestleManias, 3 WrestleManias prior, the way that they've ended it, this is it. This is Rocky's moment beating Apollo Creed, at the end of Rocky 2, at the end of Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes 2. It's going to be Cody Rhodes, it's going to be his time. And I guarantee you it would be really cool if Cody Rhodes went to the Rocky statue in Philadelphia, just down the road. Right?
Listen, they're going to play into all that gimmick. That's happening. They're going to be vignettes, Philly vignettes. Absolutely, that's going to happen.
Cody Rhodes running up the art museum steps. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, training and
training. Let's do it, man. That's his time.
Oh my gosh, it's not far fetched. One last comment before we go. I think WWE is still trying to figure out backstage why Brock is angry at Cody. This should have been figured out the night after Mania or whenever this feud started. This should have been figured out in the beginning. They should not still be figuring this out. There should have been a reason. The week after Brock attacked Cody, Brock should have came out and said why, and then, okay, let's do this brouhaha. They should still not be figuring out as to why this is happening. That should have been established well in the beginning of this feud for sure.
Who knows?
But anyway, we are an hour and a half in. We have got to close out this prediction show as we covered everything. Feel free, if anything you missed, feel free to go back in the beginning. Please give us a thumbs up on this video. Share with your friends. I think we got a lot of our predictions. Basically, I have a feeling we basically just gave you the results. I think we usually get a lot of predictions, right?
Pre and post show.
Yeah, this is actually true. This is true. We don't get a whole lot wrong
we'll
here.
Replay this after the pay-per-view.
But feel free to go back and watch. Make sure you guys share this. We will be back with the post show. I have not figured out if it's going to be Saturday night yet or if we're going to do it Sunday night. I haven't figured out any of that, but we will have a post show on Money Bank, as Money Bank is a very, very important pay-per-view and the kickoff to our SummerSlam season, which I'll be there. I cannot wait. Maybe
awesome.
I bring my briefcase with me and cash in on somebody and take their belt away and just run.
Yeah.
Cash in and run. Won't even tell them.
That's awesome.
I mean, people in the city get away with decking people and taking stuff. Why can't I deck somebody and steal their belt? No, just messing. Anyway, but no, this case is staying home, right on its mantle, right where it belongs. Put it back there. But anyway, those of you guys that are watching, Joe, thank you so much for hopping on tonight. Those of you guys that are watching, thank you so much, and we will see you in just a couple days with some Money in the Bank results. We'll catch you all very soon.
Agility from the champion. Oh,